like to call the meeting to order. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Stanford, may we have a roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Hairston.
Oh, here. I thought you were saying yes, ma'am, Ms. Hairston. Here.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Williamson.
Here.
Mr. Corrado. Ms. Hurd. Here. Mr. Hoagie.
Here.
Ms. Howard.
Present.
Mr. Lumpkin.
Here.
Ms. Matthews-Benson.
Here.
And Mr. Weckinger.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think I can now declare a quorum, and we'll go for an approval of the consent agenda. Are there any changes or questions on the agenda? Hearing none, we will consider the consent agenda approved. The minutes of the meeting for November 5th, 2019 were sent to board members prior to today for review. Unless there is any board member who requests a reading of the minutes, I will ask if there are any corrections or additions to the minutes as presented. Having heard no requests for a reading of the minutes nor any corrections or additions, the minutes stand approved as presented. First item on the agenda with committee reports is Mr. Lumpkin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Franz, we're going to trade. The Finance and Personnel Planning Committees met for a jointly held meeting on November 19th, and as a result, the committee is recommending 5 action items for the board's consideration. Action item number 2, major bus accident repair. Greater Dayton RTA is currently seeking proposals for major body and structural repairs to the next-gen bus 1402, which was involved in a major accident on March 13, 2018. This project is consistent with the RTA's core values of stewardship, and we demonstrate our commitment to keeping our buses in a state of good repair. Staff has prepared a detailed scope of work, which includes a high-level description of the damage, contractor requirements, trolley system component testing, project timeline, quality control process, warranty, and shipping the bus to and from repair location. The bus was just released from a requested hold, and insurance adjusters have done their inspections. Pre-approval is being requested in order to get the project underway promptly. Mr. Brown presented this action item at the committee meeting, and the associated details are included in today's package. And staff is available for any questions that the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the committee, I move to award a contract for the repair of bus 1402 estimated at $300,000 and the funds of $150,000 for any required component testing, project oversight, and repair contingency to be included for a total authorization up to $450,000. This bus originally cost $1.4 million new in 2014. This procurement will be funded initially with operating funds, but then credited with any insurance proceeds and RTA's deductible.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and second to approve action item number 2, major bus accident repair. Question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstentions? Motion carries. Action item number 2, major bus accident repair, is approved.
Action item number 3, 2020 operating and capital budgets. Greater Dayton RTA's total operating revenues for 2020 are projected at $69.2 million, while total operating expenses are projected at $71.9 million. This budget scenario reflects a loss of $2.7 million before local capital charges and a loss of $5.7 million after local capital charges. Operating expenses has increased due to including a full year of Dayton Public School service, assuming full staffing through the course of the year, projecting an overall 2% wage increase, and funding the Good Neighbor program. Regarding the capital budget expenditures for 2020, are projected 68.1 million with a 4.5 million or 6.6% funded by RTA. This amount is very low compared to the normal funding percentage of about 20% and is attributed to a recent award of state capital funding. RTA's capital program is extensive, but is starting to level off. The 5-year capital budget includes many necessary revenue vehicle purchase, including 24 dual-mode buses, 34 diesel buses, and 75 small demand response buses, transit hubs and facilities improvements, electric systems and improvements, and equipment, technology, amenities are also included as well in this 5-year plan. Mr. Rosinski presented the action item at our committee's meeting, and all associated details are in today's package. Staff is available for any questions that the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendations of the committee, I move to approve the 2020 operating and capital budgets. This approval allows the Secretary Treasurer to file the appropriate documents with Montgomery County Auditor and to receive a certificate authorizing 2020 expenditures.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second to approve action item number 3, 2020 operating and capital budgets. Question.
Madam President, I just want to make the comment that it's a challenge for this board and staff to move forward with deficit budgets, and that we should make it known that we have directed staff and the board working together to find alternatives to closing this gap between revenue and expenses, and to address what is projected to be a loss for 2020. So it's not really a question, but more a comment that before we pass upon these budgets, that we are actively seeking ways to address them.
Thank you for your comments. That was something that was discussed at length at our committee meetings, and I appreciate you for bringing that forward. Any other comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstentions? Motion carries. Action item number 3, 2020 operating capital budgets is approved.
Action item number 4, resolution number 2019-12-1, 2020 annual appropriations. The board's adoption of the 2020 operating and capital budgets will establish budget limits for this upcoming year. Trustees' approval of resolution number 2019-12-1 will appropriate the needed funds to carry out the activities approved by the budget documents. Mr. Rosinski presented this action item at the committee meeting, and the associated details are in the package today. Staff is available for any questions the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the committee, I move for the approval of resolution 2019-12-1, 2020 annual appropriations.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and second to pass action item number 5, resolution number 2019-12-1, 2020 annual appropriations. Question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstentions? Motion carries. Action item number 4 is approved.
Action item number 5, resolution number 2019-12-2, purchasing light transit vehicles for the 5310 federal grant program. RTA is a regional partner in the 5310 federal grant program, which is designed to improve transportation options to senior and disabled community. The program is administered by the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission, MVRPC, and the federal grant is managed by RTA. RTA has been a partner in this program since 2015. As part of our partnership role, RTA will be purchasing small buses and vans for use by area agencies which have applied for and been approved for funding by MVRPC. RTA receives and manages the federal grant fund up to 80% of the program cost, and the the project partners will fund the full local share. Mr. Rosinski presented this action item at the board meeting. All the details are included in the package today, and staff's available to answer any questions the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the committee, I move approval of Resolution number 2019-12-2, Light Transit Vehicle for the 5310 Federal Grant Program. Contracts will be awarded to ODOT-approved vendors for the purchase of up to 10 small transit vehicles at a cost not to exceed $853,000, and the purchase of up to 3 accessible modified minivans at a cost not to exceed $120,000 for a total award up to $955,000. The Chief Executive Officer has the authority to complete any required items necessary to make the purchasing using ODOT vehicle bid term contracts. This procurement is being funded with up to 80% federal funds, and all 5310 vehicles will have local share funded by the receiving agencies.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second to accept action item number 5, resolution number 2019-12-2, purchasing light transit vehicles for the 5310 Federal Grant Program. Question?
I have a comment. I thought I heard it said that the cost was not to exceed $855,000. The resolution is for $835,000 is what we approved at the board.
Okay, that is what the wording is 835,000?
Yes.
So, okay. Having heard that, we still consider this action item as approved. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstentions? Motion carries. Action item number 5 is approved.
Action item number 6, Administrative Employee Compensation Guide. The RTA has an Administrative Employee Compensation Guide for non-union employees. Periodically, if not annually, the compensation guide is reviewed and adjusted. A recommendation has been made by the Chief Executive Officer to adjust the current compensation guide across the board by 2%. This recommendation is informed by the data reviewed from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and Consumer Price Index. There are no implied or express guarantees on wage increases. Ms. Thomas presented the action item at the committee meeting, and the associated details are in the package today. And staff is available for any questions the board may have at this time.
I just have one, I'm still working from my old notes. Were there corrections made in the new one for today? For the high grades that were out of order?
Yes.
The corrections were made?
Yes. And they were in the packet that we received? Okay,
What I did, I didn't print it off, and I forgot.
yes, it was.
Any other questions? Okay. Hearing no more questions, based upon the recommendation of the committee, I move for approval of the attached 2020 Administrative Employee Compensation Guide.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and second to accept action item number 6, Administrative Employee Compensation Guide. Question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstentions? Motion carries. Action item number 6, Administrative Employee Compensation Guide is approved.
Additional items to mention, the August 2019 sales tax update. At the meeting, Ms. Beard reported that the 2019 sales tax receipts equal $3.32 million, and year-to-date receipts equal $25.77 million. Sales tax receipts remain well below the amounts received before the cut in the Medicaid managed care tax. At our meeting, Ms. Beard reported that the month of October 2019, a net loss before federal and state depreciation is $314,000. Operating revenues were $1.1 million, while operating expenses, including local depreciation, were $6.1 million. Non-operating revenues totaled $4.7 million. Year-to-date, 2019 net loss before federal and state depreciation is $1.5 million. Operating revenues were $7.5 million, or 7.5, while operating expenses, including local depreciation, were $55.9 million. Non-operating revenues totaled $46.9 million. The loss of Medicaid managed care tax accounts for the negative results. The operating losses over the past 24 months created significant challenges for the agency moving forward. In reality, RTA must reverse the pattern of expenses outweighing revenues. Finding a solution in the near term will be a primary focus of RTA's Board of Trustees, Chief Executive Officer, and management staff. Detailed financial information is included in today's board package. And that will conclude my report, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Lumpkin. We'll now move on to the Planning Committee. Ms. Howard?
Good afternoon. The Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committees met for a jointly held meeting on November 19th, and while we do not have any action items to bring before you, we do have important updates to provide. At the committee meeting, Mr. Brandon Polachicchio provided a summary document of recent activities in the Customer and Business Development Department. On Sunday, December 1st, the RTA honored and celebrated Rosa Parks Day with the unveiling of a special mural located in the main concourse of Right Stop Plaza. Prior to Rosa Parks Day, the RTA worked behind the scenes with the help of its customers to create handwritten messages of gratitude, which were placed on the mural. Rosa Parks' quiet resolve helped to make a seat available for everyone, and the RTA wanted to recognize her contribution. In other news, the 2019 RTA Holiday Bus hit the streets of the Miami Valley this past weekend following its debut at the Dayton Children's Parade on Friday, November 29th. This year's bus features a gingerbread theme, complete with icing and candy details on the exterior. The fun continues inside with more candy-covered decor and a lighted tree. Riders can enjoy holiday music and free candy canes while aboard. There is also a gingerbread photo booth where riders can take selfies to share. Santa will also make special appearances on the holiday bus throughout the season. The bus will circulate along different RTA routes throughout the holiday season until January 1st, 2020. A complete schedule of routes can be found at iRideRTA.org/holidaybus. In keeping with the holiday spirit, those looking for a little cheer need to look no further than a free ride downtown on RTA's Flyer Bus service, as RTA will be celebrating the season with trips with Santa and on-board carolers. This year, the RTA is debuting 2 festive Flyer buses in constant circulation on the downtown routes. The 2 buses are decorated with snowflakes on the outside and include holiday decorations on the inside. Santa will be riding on select days along with carolers, and more information can also be found at iRideRTA.org/theflyer. This concludes my holiday report, Madam President, and I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. We're now down to the Chief Executive Officer's report. Mr. Donahue.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a few items that are informational in nature. A lot of references made to our budget for 2020 that you just approved. We appreciate that. And I want to assure you that work is well underway on the first phase of doing the survey work and then focus groups regarding, how we will approach the future and the long-range plan to address our financial situation, which absolutely must be dealt with. Our goal is to get back with the board early next year with the preliminary results of how we will propose to go forward. Second item, most of you know, we had to go without our downtown hub here for about 2 weeks, and I just wanted to throw a rose. Our team, led by Chris Cole, did a fantastic job during the detours. You always worry when that has to happen, how it's going to go, and we were worried about rain and other problems. We got through the week pretty well. I think even weather-wise, we only had one really awful day in the 2 weeks, so it did go well, and that's a credit to our folks for making that happen. I will tell you, I got one complaint only on the second day, And the substance of the complaint was that this customer really missed the heaters that we have in the Wrightstown Plaza facility. And it made me smile because when we built that facility, I was in a great debate with John Thomas, our then maintenance director. I was not convinced radiant heat would work out there, and he sold me on including it in the final design, and people do really appreciate it. So that was a good thing, but we got through the 2 weeks, and I'll just forewarn you that this was the easy one. In April or May, Jefferson Street is going to be completely rebuilt, and we will lose the hub for about a 30-day stretch. So it'll be warmer weather, but we'll be prepared then to do something similar. And I'm sure Chris's team will hit another home run as we venture out onto the street. He's already praying. That's good. Okay, item 3, you've probably seen some Next Gens out there. It's been fun to watch them. They're out on the street already. The first few of the production buses are out there running every single day. You will see more to follow. They'll just come out as they're ready to come out, and we'll add more routes. They're on Route 4 right now. With all the construction downtown, there's still a number of gaps in our wire, but obviously with the Next Gen, that's not as big a problem as it used to be. So we'll be bringing other routes online relatively soon. We have a new person in the room we want to introduce, and I'm going to turn, if I could, over to Chris Cole to do a little introduction of the newest member of our management team.
Well, thank you, Mark. Actually, we're very privileged to have Connor Briggs. He comes here from Toledo. He was the transit authority there. He held the position there as the director of paratransit. He is our paratransit manager here in Dayton. He also worked at Butler County in various positions there. But we're very happy to have him here and grateful that he's here with us all.
Great to add another Ohio transit system to our farm team. This is great. And Connor, so you know, I have a saying that goes with that: we only take the best. So that's great. One last item I want to mention. I had lunch with somebody the other day, and he asked me to say hello to the board. Former board president Bill Kramer. He's doing well. He's taken on a new assignment at the ripe age of 82. He's now an usher at the Dayton Dragons game and loving it. So, but Bill wanted me to make sure I said hi to everybody. And unless there are questions, that's all I have to report.
Thank
Mark,
you.
Periodically, as I go through the community, I see across the runner on the bus in remembrance of, and they mention the name. Are those former employees or?
Absolutely are. If you see an individual name, that's an employee who passed away. We started doing that, I want to say, 2 years ago. And now it's become something we do consistently when one of our, especially an active employee, passes. And one of the ones was a recent retiree as well. And then we had a little debate about Officer Del Rio, and we opted instead to say we did a new sign, DPD Strong, that you might have seen running as well. But if you see a name, that's absolutely an RTA employee.
Thank you, Mr. Donahue. I'm not aware of any old business that we need to bring forward. Anyone else? Okay. We do have one new business item. And Dave, I think since everybody was here and you didn't have to do anything for anybody, I thought maybe you would like to handle this one.
I would be glad to.
Thank you.
At the November 19th Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committee meeting, Mr. Brandon Polachicchio presented to the committees the current RTA fare structure language for children while riding RTA services. To ensure the general safety and well-being of children aged 12 and under, the RTA is recommending that children 12 and under, while traveling RTA services, always be accompanied by a parent, guardian, or teacher. The committee discussed the recommendation and reviewed the proposed changes. As a result, the Planning Committee recommended that revisions to the RTA fare structure be brought before the full board as a new business item for adoption. Based upon that recommendation, I move to adopt the Attachment A, Greater Dayton Regional Transit Authority fare structure, to be effective December 8, 2019. Furthermore, that the chief executive officer be authorized to do all things necessary to implement the new fare structure. And the attachment is included with the board's materials for the day.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to accept or approve action item, new business item number 1, transit fare structure amendment. Question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstentions. New business item number 1, transit fare structure amendment is approved. I was told we do not have any public comment requests for today's meeting. And since we don't, okay, thank you. And since we do not have any public comments, board comments and announcements. I will start with Sharon Howard.
Nothing.
Okay.
I'd like to share with the board that Dayton Chamber will be moving next week and will be right across the street. So we'll be closer now.
I'm not for sure if that's good or bad.
Well,
Mark?
I know when all this got started, I was approached about flyer stops, and there happens to be a flyer stop right outside your new office door. So
Good.
Oh, well, good.
Just for you, Belinda.
I need it.
tell Phil that.
Dave?
I just want to mention that it's become a family tradition for my family that we work the Feast of Giving event at the Convention Center, and it just does me proud to see this organization's logo prominently displayed, and what a great thing for us to support. And the buses bringing the participants there were running smooth as always. And I also ran into yet another former board president, Jim Newby, who also said to say hello to everybody when I was at that event. Thank you.
Thank you. Franz?
I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holiday, and may 2020 be your best year ever.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lumpkin?
I would just like to take this time to tell my wife happy birthday, because if not, Miss Howard will be down there throwing a little tantrum like I don't take very good care of her.
That would be correct.
You got points on that one.
Thank you. Oh, and go Bucks.
Ms. Hurd?
I had the opportunity to see a Next Gen. I think it was on 3rd Street, but it was like, yes, they're real. Happy holidays.
Thank you. And I'd like to also reiterate what Franz said. Happy holidays to everyone. I hope you have a wonderful and safe holiday. So we do want you back here working as usual.
I want him back tomorrow.
Well, yeah, every day. There's not a need that I'm aware of to request an executive session unless anyone wants to have one and talk about Mark or anything. Oh, did I say that out loud? Okay. Our next board meeting is January 7th at 3, and then the next one is February 4th and March 3rd at 3. Having said that, I would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second, and I'm not asking for a roll call. It's a drop.